welcome to No Comparison. Today I'm doing a first impression. So I was talking with my fragrance friend Christo about the Estée Lauder house. We were discussing Lauder for men, and he brought up Estée Lauder's Youth-Dew, women's perfume released in 1953 by nose behind this was Josephine Catapano. So it's classified as an Oriental spicy. Now, Estée Lauder's note list for this versus Fragrantica's note list. Fragrantica has this mountain of notes listed for this fragrance. Estée Lauder's differs. I'm going to go with what Estée Lauder had listed. So they're saying rose, jonquil, lavender, jasmine, muguet, spices, moss, vetiver, patchouli. As I said, if you want to take a look at this on Fragrantica, they list a ton of more notes, but I'm going with the house's website. So let's get this open and let's see what we got. From what I've seen from friends on Facebook and online, this is a powerhouse. So we'll see. I'm sure it is a powerhouse. I'm curious. I've seen two different versions of this bottle, and there's one that I'm hoping that it is. We'll see. This is the 2.5 EDP. There's EDP, there's Parfum, there's Eau de Toilette. I've heard the bath oil as well. I saw mentioned on Facebook that the bath oil is, some were saying, even better. And okay, so there's two versions of the bottle. One was more this color, solid, and it was supposed to be like the original bottle. That's the one I was hoping for, but this one is the, I guess, the remake bottle that they created and then later stepped away from and went back to the solid colored original style. Maybe I can find that one depending on first impression here. So it has this ribbon bow. Seems like maybe a leather bow. Elastic held on, bottle has a ribbed here, much like Lauder for men, with a waist, and then this pretty straightforward plastic cap. Okay, I'm just getting my first look at this right now. 2.25 EDP, made in Switzerland. Interesting. Okay, let's dance. There we go. I'm getting some classic smells right away that I've witnessed in other fragrances from the 70s and from the 80s. Soft. I'm definitely getting a mossy aspect to it. I'm not at the time able to discern any specific floral notes. Like I'm not getting roses listed in the top, and I'm not discerning a rose note. Jonquil's one I'm just not familiar with. I can't say that I really know. I know it's if I remember correctly, a narcissist, but I'm not 100% sure if I've ever tested it before. Lavender, of course, I know. I'm not really getting lavender. Interesting. I know I've never tested this before, but yet it smells so much like I had to have smelled this just out and about, right? It seems, even though I'd never heard of this, it seems it's wildly known and popular in the fragrance community or just in general. And that means there has to be people I've encountered that have worn this, and it's not as fierce as I thought it was going to be. And I'm curious if someone were to walk in, if right away this would be like bombastic to them, and to me it's maybe I smell so many fragrances that it's not as piercing as I thought it was going to be. It's dark. It's very dark. It's like hide dark. I'm not getting much development. I mean, it definitely smells classic. I'm trying to decide if I would say this is dated or if this is something that one person can say something's dated, but then another person can carry and wear it without feeling that way. So that's just a matter of interpretation. Spicy Oriental, yeah, I can see that. I can see moss, vetiver, patchouli would be in here. I'm not really getting the sweetness I'm used to getting with jasmine. Muguet or Lily of the Valley is something I'm not familiar with. I think I need to try Diorismo, the original formulation of it, to get a good example for that note. When I saw the notes listed on Fragrantica, as I said, there was such a mountain of notes. I didn't know what to expect. And I was just expecting something really, possibly all over the place, really complex. This is pleasant. This is pleasant. For my taste, if I smelt this on somebody, I would think they're wearing a classic fragrance. So for my taste, it is dated, but it's pleasant at the same time. I'm going to try this out again. I don't know if I'm personally going to be wearing this, but I'm happy to have it. I was really hoping that I'd be able to discern more notes from this. I'm curious, 2 hours from now, what am I going to get from this? I think this is something that when you first spray it, the moss really just really goes out there with any fragrance that has a good dose of moss in it. But I feel like that's in the opening. That settles down. The more I smell this, the more I like it. When would I wear it? Would I be reaching for this and wear it? Or is it just going to be part of the collection? Would my wife want to wear this? From what I've seen, my tastes are much more broad and what I'll accept and wear than my wife. And I'm fortunate that she puts up with my varied tastes and fragrances. Well, obviously I want to keep smelling it, so it's interesting. And it's so familiar. So familiar. It's like a time trip. Very mature. I don't feel like I'd see a young person, when I say young, like teens, early 20s, I don't feel like I'd see someone in that age bracket wear this, but if they were wearing this, I would be impressed. Like, I was really thinking I was going to smell more floral in this. And it's probably there. It seems to be mostly in the top and the middle notes, right? So the floral's there, but the spices, the moss, the vetiver, the patchouli are blanketed over it so well. It's insulated, and the floral notes, I think, just aren't getting their head above enough to peek out. Or maybe it's just so well blended that you're not going to be able to discern those individual notes. I'm going to keep studying this, but so far my first impression, definitely classic. It's got a softness about it. I understand the potency that everyone is speaking of, but it's not potent as in challenging. To me, it's not challenging. Smelling classic or maybe dated doesn't mean it's challenging. It's pleasant, and it's not an obstacle for it to be pleasant. Anyway, there's my first impression. So I will see you guys on next note comparison. Thank you.